sorted out. So welcome back to the Blood Outdoor Show, folks, and thank you for joining me on another Wednesday night wild camping adventure in the Lake District. And look at this, fantastic weather for a change. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant, guys. If you've been watching this Mandingo over the last few weeks, you'll have seen me wild camping in the Lake District with Stormzy. Yes, I've been out in storms, non-stop rain, just absolutely brutal weather. But if you keep rolling the dice, guys, you'll get a 6 and you'll get some wonderful wild camping weather where we're going to drink some whiskey. You better believe we are. Which way should we go? You can go this way, you can go up there, you can take that way, which I think takes you like on a nice more gentle walk up. That's what we'll do, because I'm in no rush. And like I said, we've got some nice whiskey. I've got a few beers, a nice little bottle of red wine. Oh, I've got a fantastic meal to cook tonight, guys. I'm looking forward to that later on when I'm smash burgered, when I'm absolutely smashed dingoed, if you know what I'm talking about. I've got a few snacks, and as usual, I'll have loads of shite to talk about. You better believe I will. Look at this. I tell you what, it makes it worthwhile coming out week after week in shite weather for when you finally get a brilliant day like this. And that's where we're heading. That's not the summit. The summit will be like a little bit further beyond. LING fell. Yes, I've done that one last year with the 2 Chris's, which is called Sail Fell. So I always knew I was going to come back here and do this at some point. And today is the day. We're going to camp on LING Fell. We're going to have a great time, have a few drinks, and I'm going to take you legends along on the camping journey with me. So on we march, and I'll see you absolute unbelievable subscribers when we get to the top. You know it makes total sense. How we? Ah. here we are, my fansexuals. We're at the summit of LING. As you can see, absolutely unbelievable views all the way around. You cannot whack it, as they say in the mountain villages of Patagonia. Two guys were here when I first came up, but them's buggered off, so at the minute I've got the place to myself. Over there looks about the best spot to put the tent, and this is where I'll be looking onto when I'm sitting on my big fat hairy spotty arse, enjoying a few beers and a few shots of whiskey. So come on then, let's get the old Baghdad over there, and I'll bring you back when we've found the perfect spot around me. Nice.
Hey mate, yeah, days a favour. If I ask you really nicely, is there any chance, suit yourself, I was only going to ask you if you'd sell us your jawbone.
This looks like the best spot for me. My spam dingoes, the Cairn Barlow is only just there. You've got like the main pathway here, as you can see, so I want to be just off that. I've came up like from down that way. Look at this. Oh yes, that'll ding dang do for this mandingo. And this is the way of the mandingo. This is where I'm going to have the tent. I've made my mind up. So, however then, let's quickly get it up. There's no one around. It's only 4 PM. Some people might say, oh, that's a little bit early to put your tent up, but however, who gives a monkeys? I'm going to be there, minding my own business. I'm not bothering anyone, sitting with a beer. Most people are cool. You just get the odd dickhead now and again, don't you? So, however then, let's get this tent up, and I'll bring you back when it's up. I'm having my first beer. It might be my second beer, because I'm going to have one now. Rice cakes. Yes guys, just enjoying my first candingo of this camping trip. Highland suntan. It's warm enough for a suntan. I've got no doubt later on though, when the sun goes down, don't let the sun go down on me. I am some George Best. Yes guys, I've got no doubt it'll get chilly on the old Stumpy Willie later on, but it's lovely jubbly right now, and I'm taking the chance to dry my tent out. I've been a silly Billy. I didn't realise I must have packed this away while it was still damp, and me being the lazy bugger that I am, I haven't dried it out. That's another reason why I don't spend a fortune on tents, because I'm a bit lackluster that way, you know what I mean? I'm a bit forgetful when I get back to get the tents out and get them hung up and dried out. So this tent, you put that bit up first, the inner, and then you put the fly sheet on the top. So just got me bag of Peggy Mitchells on there and me bottle of water, just in case you get a little gust of wind and blows it away. Inside there was a little bit mould, not too much, but I still don't want to be breathing it in later on, so I'm letting that air out. I've got my big bottle of water there. I'll not drink all that anyway. And I've got a what they're called, microfiber cloths. That's what I'm trying to say. I've got a cloth there which I use to dry my phone off, you know, when it's raining and that. But I don't think I'm going to need that today. So yeah, I'll wet the cloth. I'm going to wipe out the inside of the tent just to get the mouldy bits away. I've been lucky. I think if I left it wrapped up for another few weeks or something, it would have just been totally ruined. So I've brought this tent out at the right time, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, like I say, there's no Ian rush. I can just keep having a mooch about, stretching my legs, letting the tent get a good air out. In fact, I'm going to put my seat up and I'm going to have a couple of shots of whiskey, because I've only brought 4 beers and the first one's nearly gone dingoed. Mandingos. Right. Right. Oh yes, my Mandy Dingles. As you can see, the tent is up. And like I've already said, there's no Ian rush. I'm not going to set my gear up inside yet. We're just going to let the air get through this tent, get it nice and fresh. There's no mould. I've given it a good wipe out. There wasn't much like, but it needed a little bit of a clean. So yeah, there's no need to shut that door because there's no midges. Ooh, shut that door. Right. Right. However, before we set all the stuff up inside, like the foil mat, slating pad, slating bag and all that shite, I might as well show you all my stuff. Food and drink, I mean. So get that lid on there. We don't want a spillage. So this is the whiskey for tonight. Wolfie's blended single malt Scotch whiskey. Yes. I think this is the one that's like part owned by Rod Stewart. What's that, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's that, pussycat? Oh yes, sing it, Rod. You kind of beat a bit Rod Stewart, can you? But not bad. You'll have to stick around later on for the world famous whiskey review, and I'll tell you exactly what I think about it. That was bought for me for my birthday from my son Preston. Well, he's only 16, so Mrs. Blott had to buy it. So it's off Mrs. Blott and my son. So thank you. I love yous both more than anything in the world. You better believe I do. Come on then guys, let's plonk that down there. And I'll show you all the rest of me stuff. So I've got me camouflage Trekology chair there guys, blending in with the surroundings. You can see how close I am to the old Cairn Barlow. Amazing views all around. You cannot whack it, as they say in the deepest forests of the Congo. I might as well continue with the drinks. As I've already showed you, I've had 1 can of Highland Suntan. I've got 2 cans from Brewdog, the old Brewdog millionaire. Elvis juice. Oh, well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show. Free to get That's like a cross, isn't it, between Elvis and Ken Survival. Right, guys. Bear in mind, I love Ken Survival, by the way, just in case anyone complains and say, Ken Survival's a legend. Yes, he is. I love Ken Survival. I watch him all the time. You better believe I do. Right. I've got a bottle of red wine as well. Yellowtail Shiraz. Yes, we'll try and keep that later on for the steak meal. So, I'll show you this. I have got a lovely fillet steak. Look at that. It's not a big one, but it's quite thick. It's not the length, guys, it's the girth. Oh, matron. That's a nice thick fillet steak. I've got some Mediterranean vegetables. Oh yes, we will cook that in some garlic oil. It's going to be a meal fit for a Mandingo. We'll get some of that on the steak. Chili and garlic salt. Oh yes. Oh, I can taste that already. It's going to be an absolute fantastic meal. You know it makes sense. Snacks. I've got some Italian salami and cheese selection. Got some barbecue chicken breast slices. Some shortbread fingers. I might have some later on. Probably only a couple. And I'll keep the rest in Z Morgan for a couple of coffees. There's one there. A couple of Jurgen Cloffies. The old Jurgen Klofskis. I've got some Haribo's, Tang Fastics, and some chili peanuts. You better believe it, guys. Gas tin, gas stove, plate, pansexual. The old frying pansexual. Pansexual. Sexual. Oh, sexual. Yes, guys. Come on then. It's time for me to sit in my seat now. I'm going to enjoy a can of Brewdog Millionaire Elvis juice. And yeah, I'll bring you back very soon. You better believe I will. Mice. I'm only joking. Leave no trace. You know, it makes total sense.
Hey mate. Hey mate. Hey mate. Days a favour. I hear both yous. Will one of yous turn your back on us? I was only going to ask if you'd sell us your jawbone. Suit yourself.
Oh. Oh. Don't be shy. Your mum wasn't.
Hey mate. Hey mate. Sell us your bike.
Right. You know, makes sense. Lovely guy I've just been talking to, Richard. If you're watching, Richard, it was nice to meet you, my man friend. Yes, it's been a busy place. Well, not really busy. There's been about 5 different people up, but that's busy compared to some places I go to. Sometimes I go out wild camping and you don't see anyone all day, but I think that's it. I think I've got the place to myself now, which is absolutely spamtastic. My man and woman friend sexuals. We've just been watching the sun going down over there. And then the moon. We off to Button Moon. Follow Mr. Spoon. Why's Bonnie? Yes, guys. That's my second can dingo gone. I'll keep having a can. And then I'll have a couple of shots of whiskey. I'm losing track. I've had 3 cans. I've only got 1 can left. Bloody hell. So I've got 1 can left. I've got plenty of shots of Wolfie's whiskey from Rod Stewart. What else have I got? Oh, it's there. Wine. Nice bottle of Yellowtail. I've already showed you. Oh, I'm looking forward to my nice meal. I tell you what, let's have a couple of shots of whiskey. I'm going to sit back, chill out. I'm going to do a little bit more editing on my camaraderie with the old footage, the Nicki Minaj on the old camaraderie. I'll bring you back after a few more shot dingoes. Rice cakes. Yeah. Wolfies. Blended Scotch whisky. It ain't no fine single malt, but it'll ding dang do for this man dingo. For a chest warmer. Someone's just turned up. Can you see? Just when you think you're getting the place to yourself, some guy's just turned up. Seems like a nice guy. He hasn't been over yet to talk, but he was like, hiya, hiya, you alright? Yeah. I said, yeah, I'm alright. So I'm just walking over here to talk to you. Should I get him on the Whisky review? I don't know. I don't know what to do. The only thing is, like, I'm up late, aren't I? Later on, I'll be cooking the old get your words out. Later on, I'll be cooking the old Jack Scraniels, the old Scran Daniels, if you know what I'm talking about. The old Scrandingo, Mandingos. And, you know, I don't talk quiet because I'm normally in the hills by myself or next to some castle remains, so I can just talk like as loud as I want while I'm getting stuck into my food. And that can take like 5 or 6 minutes while I'm doing some Borussia munching Gladbach. Then there's the Whisky review. That can take 5, 6, 10 minutes when I'm waffling on. And then that's without all the other shite talking. And we're only like 15 metres apart. I mean, I'm already up here. He could have came and he could have set up anywhere around here. And I've been here for a few hours already, so is it rude if he wants to get to sleep and I'm sitting waffling a load of shite? I don't know. You tell me in the comment section. I probably will try and talk a little bit quieter, but I'm not going to go to bed earlier. I'm not going to stop talking about whatever I want to talk about, if you know what I'm talking about. Yes, guys. I've got a feeling he's going to be one of these kind of guys that sticks to the, you know, the so-called wild camping rule. Arrive late, leave early, leave no trace. Yes, leave no trace. That is what you should do. Leave no tracey, Barlow.
Hey, our Tracy. Ew, what you gonna do, our Tracy? Our Tracy, what you...
Can you imagine him lying in his bed listening to me, doing all that? He'll probably he'll either pack up and leave in the middle of the night, or he'll just be lying there with his eyes wide open, shiting himself, thinking he's camping next to some weirdo. He's probably listening to me now, because when you're up here, you know, in the hills, you can hear everything. Your voice just travels. Oh well, let's walk back to the tent. I don't even know what I'm walking away for. I'm just being polite. I'm walking away and talking to you guys while he's setting his tent up. Me, the way I am, if I'd came up here now and somebody else was there, I would have probably came over here, out the way, and put my tent up somewhere. But, you know, you're free to camp where you want. It's your personal choice. He's decided to pitch up there. If he complains during the night, can you keep the noise down, mate? I'll say, why aye. You know, makes sense, man, dingo. The Blood Outdoor Show's in town. I'm only joking. I'm only joking, guys. I'll keep the noise down. I'll be polite. So if you're wondering why I'm talking quiet later on, there's a guy over there setting his tent up. I'm not a total dickhead, you know. I will try and talk a little bit quieter than what I normally do. Right, how then? Let's get... I'm stepping over long grass here. I've went off track. Let's get back on the path. Right, let's get back to Camp Mandingo. Right. Well, Jim, it was nice talking to you, mate.
Yeah, well, I'll probably see you in the morning. You won't be, you don't lie in till midnight, midday, do you?
No, I'll be up. Well, I might not be up as early as you, but if you're up, give us a shout, I don't mind. I'll catch you later, mate.
Yeah, see ya.
See you later. There you go, folks. Just been talking for a good hour or so to a lovely guy called Jim, 68-year-old, and he's still getting up these hills, doing a spot of the old wild camping. He didn't want to be on camera. I asked him earlier on, and he's uncomfortable with that. That's fair dues. A lot of people don't like to be on camera. To be honest, when I first started making these YouTube videos, my first few videos, my channel was called Bonnie Lads on Tour, because that's where it was. It was just me and my mates, the Bonnie Lads. The first one was me and Cowboy Chris. Then the second and third one was me and Mick. There was a lad who works with us in the factory called Davy Crangle. He's the brother of Graham Crangle. Absolutely, Graham Crangle. He's like me half cousin. Me, Mick and Davy Crangle were out, and I'd done some with Davy Crangle, and Cowboy Chris came back, and then young Chris jumped on board, and then little Mick was back. So yeah, it was called Bonnie Lads on Tour, and it was basically just us hiking in the Lake District, and there was no talking, there was just music over the top. Cheers guys, Elvis juice, oh. And you know when you first hear your voice, and it's like, oh God, I sound like a right knobhead. It takes a while, doesn't it, to get used to yourself. And then I think the first time I done any, I'm just waffling shite now guys, the first time I done talking in the videos, me and Cowboy Chris went over the lakes. I think it was for 2 nights, and we were doing a van camp. We were going out hiking, and we did a hike, I think Red Screes and Middle Dod. The weather was absolutely atrocious, and we just parked the van up on a campsite in Keswick, Castle Rig Hall I think it was. And it was my idea. I said to Chris, just to get us talking in the videos, let's do a whiskey review, because I'm a big whiskey drinker. Cowboy Chris, he doesn't even like whiskey, but he said, I'll join in, but I don't like whiskey, but I'll give it a bash. I think that was like my 7th video, and I looked back on it a few weeks ago and I watched it. It was absolutely terrible. Like, I can't believe how shit we were. You know what I mean? But that was the first time we spoke in our videos. I was trying to do the whiskey review, but like be serious, and Cowboy Chris was just pissing himself laughing. It's absolutely shit and hilarious at exactly the same time, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, going back to the legend over there, I've been talking to Jim. I totally get get your words out, Chris. I totally get where he comes from, not wanting to be on camera. I mean, I didn't shove the camera in his face. I just said, would you mind if I got you on camera for a second, Jim? And he said he was uncomfortable with it, so obviously I'm not going to push him. Yeah, even now, man, when I watch my videos now, I cringe at myself, of course I do. Definitely when I go on like a dickhead sometimes, but yeah. If you're making videos, you've just got to let that go over your head and don't take yourself too serious and just enjoy it. And if people are watching and if they like you, great. If they don't like you and they don't want to watch you, who gives a monkey's toss, as they say in the south of France? Right, guys, cheers. It's been a great night, I've got to be honest. There's no bullshit on the Blot Outdoor Show. When it was nearly dark and I seen the guy Jim coming up and setting his tent up, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because obviously you want the place to yourself. And then I went over to him, just the kind of guy I am. I wasn't going to just sit there quiet and ignore him. I let him get his tent set up, and then I went over to say, hi mate, you know. Lovely guy. I couldn't tell with it being dark if he was only my age or 68-year-old, and he's still getting up these hills. Just like I told you the other day about Alan Metalman. He's 69-year-old and he gets up on the hills. I tell you what, I'm 46. And if I can be a legend like Jim or like Alan Metalman and be getting up these hills, hiking and wild camping when I'm like nearly 70-year-old, that'll ding dang do for this man, Dingo. You better believe it will. Okay then, my fan sexualities. I've got nearly a full beer left there. I've got a bottle of wine. My whiskey is lying around somewhere. I'll find it. I think it's down there next to me chair. We've got a nice meal to cook, so I'll bring you back in a few Winnie Mandelas. Right. Oh, Wolfie. Whoa. There's some wicked bugs kicking about. There was a beetle in here earlier on. Honestly, it was like that. You know, like it's back. I like put my hand under it and flick it out. Yes. You kind of whack it, guys. I'm on the Wolfie juice. I'm getting used to it. Yeah. I've got to be honest. It's not as good as, you know, like a nice single malt Scotch whiskey, but it's not bad. The old Rod Stewart juice. What's that, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's that, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I've never been a Rod Stewart fan, to be honest. I said earlier on, you kind of beat a bit Rod Stewart, but my dad loves him. Yeah, he really does. I think he needs to stop singing now, though, doesn't he? He's making a right tit of himself lately. But yeah, he's a legend, I suppose. And he's making plenty money off this, even though it's quite average. But I will certainly drink it. And it's kindly given me from Mrs. Blot and my son Preston. I was actually with them when they bought it. They didn't know what to get because I've had that many different ones. They went a chewer. They said, have you had that one? Yes. Have you had that one? Yes. Have you had that one? Mm-hmm. Have you had that one, Wolfie? I said, no, I haven't had that one. So they said, right, we're getting you that one. Just so it's something like different that you haven't had. So I'd rather have this than a really nice one that I've already had. Just to review something different. If you know what I'm talking about, my fan sexualities. I tell you what, the good thing about being here, well, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing at exactly the same time. I've got a perfect signal on my phone on this hill. So I think you can work out why it's a good thing and why it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. You can phone your wife if you want to. Or is that a bad thing? I don't know. Yeah, if you're in an emergency, you can use your phone. You got a perfect signal. But then it's a bad thing because, like, you're tempted to keep looking at your phone and checking your phone. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I've hardly looked at my phone. Right, my phone's there. I record on my phone. This is what I record on. I've hardly looked at it. But I did just a few Winnie Mandelas ago. And some right wally. I don't normally do the wallies of the week, do I? On the camping. I normally do that on a Friday night. But someone was saying, they left us a comment saying, Mandingo, I'm your biggest fan. But you need to start and freshen things up. You're doing the same thing every week, week after week. And your channel's going to go down the old Kermit the Frog bog, if you know what I'm talking about. You're going to end up back in the factory. Everyone's going to stop watching you, you know, all that kind of shite. Because you're doing the same thing every week. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't do any more than what I'm doing. I mean, for a start, I'll go out. You guys know this. You absolute legends know this. I'll go out and I'll do what I want to do. For me first. That's not being selfish. I've got to do what I want to do, and I've got to, like, truly enjoy and just love it to make it work. Do you know what I mean? If I was just doing things for the sake of it, just I'll do this because people might want to watch it, it's just not going to seem authentic. It's not going to work. So I kind of, yes, I know I'm going to go out and I'm going to record, but I kind of have the mindset where let's go out and I'm going to do some exciting, you know, like with a childlike mind. I know that sounds weird, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to camp next to a castle, or I'm going to camp on the beach, or up in the hills, and I think of silly things with the wigs and the stories with the Bobbin Man and the Nice Man and Garibaldi. Just the typical blood outdoor show stupidness, and that makes me excited to go out. You get where I'm coming from, don't you? Let us have a drink. I mean, just over this last few months, I've done 2 camps. This is the wild camping in Yorkshire. One above Malham Cove with young Chris, and another one with young Chris inside Arnagale Tower, like a 200-year-old tower. I've done 2 up in Scotland. One up on a hill underneath a massive Jarborn. And one next to, like, some castle ruins, fairy tale castle I called it. Nearly dropped me whiskey. And then castles in Northumberland on the coast, Bamborough Castle, Dunstanburgh Castle, Northumberland Hills, underneath a waterfall in Northumberland with Andy Wardle, where he got smashed burgered and fell down in the river. All different places in the Lake District, high up in the hills, next to lakes, next to tarns, in storms. I went out in Storm Lillian. The tent nearly got absolutely Graham crangled. All the silly things I come out with, all the different cracks, the one-liners. So without blowing my own trumpet, like, how am I doing the same thing week after week? I'm probably the only camper that comes out with as much shit as I come out with. It probably is just shit. Most people that watches probably think, what the hell is he going on about? He's a knobhead. Yeah, if you think I'm a knobhead, I won't disagree. I can understand why you think that. But one thing I will disagree with is if someone says I'm doing the same thing week after week. That's one thing I can guarantee the Blood Outdoor Show doesn't do. I must mix things up more. than any other camping channel on YouTube. So I even do takeaway reviews. Do you know what I mean, guys? So I just thought I'd chuck that in, you know, just to have a little bit, have a little bit bitch on. Do you know what I mean? I'm allowed to have a bit bitch on now and again, aren't I? I'm only joking, guys. I'm only mentioning that because I've just read it and I thought, right, yeah, I'll have a bit crack on with my absolutely amazing subscribers and let you know the kind of ridiculous comments I have to deal with on a daily basis. Cheers, Mandingos. So, if that's you and you're watching, I'm only joking, by the way, and you're thinking the Blood Outdoor Show is the same thing week after week, what do you want me to do next week? Do you want me to fix the engine of an old Ford Cortina or go paragliding off the side of a mountain? Cheers, guys. I love each and every one of yous. Rights. Right, guys, I think it's time for the world famous Wasky review. Lice. Oh yes, my fun sexualities. You know what time it is. Wasky time. And this is what we've got this week. Wolfies. Can you see that? Blended Scotch Wasky. Oh yes. Kindly given to me from my lovely wife, the beautiful Mrs. Blott, with the sexy bot, and my son Preston. Cheese, Preston, son. You're the best son a dad could ever wish for. And let's get this popped in. The old famous Cup Dingo. My Mandy Dingles. Oh yes. Oh yes, look at that. That's a nice healthy drop of Wasky, guys. And let's get the old bakeroon in it. Rice cakes. A little bit sweet. Not overpowering at all. Quite mild. Sweet and mild at exactly the same time. Yeah, there's some vanilla there. There is. There's no denying that. Maybe a little bit peaty. The old Pete Tong. The old Peter Griffin. That's enough of the sniffing. Let's get on with the tasting. Lice. Yeah, well, as we see on this channel, when we talk about the rough and the smooth, it is quite in the middle. Straight away, it isn't the greatest Wasky. It's almost like a metal type of taste. Yeah, but like a lot of other blended Waskies, it's not harsh, no. Actually, it did go down quite smooth. Let's have another taste, my fan sexualities. It's quite thin. There's no oily, there's no silky, smooth texture to it. But at the same time, it ain't bad. I can see why I've been sitting drinking it. I can see why it's quite popular. Yeah. I only brought a half bottle out tonight, so don't be thinking I've drunk the full one. A little bit peat, a little bit smoke. The old smoking Joe Frazier. Yeah. Slight sweetness, slight smokiness to it, little bit peat. Quite watery. Yeah, quite watery. Let's have another taste. My man and woman friend dingoes. There is a little bit vanilla taste. That was there in the smell as well. But it's a funny one. It's like it's not awful or anything like that. No. And when you first taste it, you think, oh well, let's have another blast. And you're waiting for a bit more. And it just doesn't happen. It's almost like as a company, they've created a fantastic bottle, which it is. It's almost like they've getting Rod Stewart put his name towards it. And boom, they're expecting like great things. Well, no, I'm not going to give you a massive score just because of that. It's decent. I'll give you that. Mrs. Blott, my son Preston's bought me this. I'll give you that. But I ain't going to give a good score just because Mrs. Blott bought it either, and my son Preston, so... It's better than a lot of blended whiskies, let me say that. It's better than your Bells. Let's have one more taste before we wrap this up. Really swell out of the gums. Yeah. There's no spice to it at all. If I said there was spice earlier on, I'm sorry, I take that back. So I've just swelled that round and there's no kick, if you know what I'm talking about, which I like. But it's got a half decent taste to it, yeah. It's got a half decent taste. I'm going to give it a straight 7, yeah. You might have thought I was going to give less. No, I was expecting a little bit more, that was all. There's nothing wrong with it. It is quite nice. I was just expecting a little bit more. I'm going to give it a 7. A straight 7 out of 10 dingo mandingos. You know what I'm talking about. This is serious wild camping. Right. Right, guys, I've just been draining the old lizard, the old Eddie lizard. If you know what I'm talking about. And now it's time to cook the old scrandingo. We've got a lovely fillet steak and some Mediterranean veg. We will do that in the old pansexual, the old pansexual. Sexual, the old pansexual. Oh, sexual. With some garlic. Can you imagine someone watching this for the first time tonight? You guys know it's just all a bit of a laugh. Just a bit fun. Yeah, some frylight, garlic frylight, the old garlic air frylight. Oh, and then good. Let's cook rice. Yes, folks, here we go. Time to get stuck into this lovely meal. Nice fillet steak and some Mediterranean veg, cooked in garlic oil. Oh, with some nice garlic and chili salt on there, guys. Here we go. Time to get stuck in. No messing about. Oh, that's just cut through nice and soft. Oh, a bit pepper, bit courgette. Oh, wow. Is that the greatest thing I've ever tasted in all my life? A massive piece of pepper there, guys, with some fillet steak. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. This steak was just from Aldi's, folks. And so was the packet of Mediterranean veg. But I've cooked it nice and slow. I've had it on for ages. I don't know where it's at. I sprayed some fry light in with the garlic fry light. And then I kept spraying it on top. I didn't let anything go dry. Kept spraying the fry light garlic oil on. Oh, kept putting more and more garlic and chili salt on. Wow. Oh, look at that. It's just cutting through. So easy. And this is just a cheap knife and fork set. It's not even a proper fork. Or a knife, I should say. For cutting steak. Look at that, folks. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. A meal fit for a mandingo. That's the only way to describe this, guys. Courgette, red onion, pepper. You better believe it. And steak. Oh my goodness. How will I get that all in my mouth? Steak-a-rooney, big chunk of red onion, pepper, courgette. Oh my goodness, just a taste sensation. Unbelievable, absolutely courgette, onion, pepper, steak. Well, you can see this. You can see how this is going, guys. It's just an unbelievable meal. And I can't bring you anything else. Apart from sex noises and me doing some serious Borussia Mönchengladbach. So, after I finish this, I'm just going to jump straight in the sleeping bag because I'm tired. Yeah, it's time to get some shut eye. So I'm going to take this chance now to say bonjour, good night Vienna, arrivederci and Vorsprung der Technik. I'm very tired. I'll see you in the morning, guys. Good night. Rice. Good morning, Mandingos. 8:20, and it's absolutely boiling in here. I could have slept for longer, but I'm busting for a slash garden. Oh, matron. So I'm going to get up, get a quick pee, get a coffee on, and just get slowly packed away. A few bugs in here, like. God knows how many I've swallowed during the night. It's all protein, isn't it? It's all protein, guys. Right, I'm going to get a pee. Matron, it's the glove of self-love. Aww. So there we have it, guys. That's me all packed away. Baghdad ready to put on my old Baccaroni bin diesel with all my shite. Oh, what an absolutely beautiful morning. I've got a right sweat on. Makes a nice change though from packing up in terrible weather. I didn't record it, but I've had a quick coffee, a few shortbread fingers, a good drink of water. Yeah. Feeling nice and refreshed now, guys. You better believe I am. Well, how then? Let's get cracking. Let's get back down to the Blockmobile, and I'll see you when we're there. You know, it makes total sense. Yes, folks. Blockmobile is in sight. Just through the bushes there. And it's time for me to now say bonjour and thank you very much for tuning in to another Wednesday night wild camping adventure on the Blot Outdoor Show. It's very much appreciated, guys. You better believe it is. I've had a fantastic time as usual. You knew I was going to say that, but I really have. I wasn't expecting to get this beautiful weather. So yeah, I've grabbed it, with two hands, and I've had the time of my life. You know it makes sense. Yeah, if you've enjoyed it, guys, please give me a big thumbs up. Leave a comment. It really does help the channel. Make sure you tune in for the next one, which will be a takeaway review on Friday night, and then on Sunday night for another serious stealth camp. You know what I'm talking about, and you know it makes absolute, complete, total sense. Right.
Oh, matron.
You know, it's make total sense, mate. Very nice.